Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how I use Frame.io and Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve to collaborate with others on video editing projects. If you're new here, my name's Sunjay. I'm a videographer and editor based in the UK, and I use DaVinci Resolve for pretty much editing any kind of video content. Now, one of the big frustrations that I've had since I've started working with more than one person on projects is collaborating, going back and forth on edits and going, just generally collaborating on a video project. I first started out exporting low-res versions and then uploading it to a cloud server, then have to download it, and they wouldn't have space on their laptop because the file size was too big. It was just a bit of a pain. They would start recording Loom videos to give me feedback, and then I'll have to go into the editor and find where they were talking about on the timeline. It was just a big mess. That's when Frame.io came to my rescue. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I've not been paid to say anything on this video. I've not been paid or even given Frame.io for free. It's all been paid for with my own money. But this has really, really revolutionized my workflow and just saved me so much time. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so here you can see I have my DaVinci Resolve open. I'm going to just go back to a project that I've got open here. Okay, so here is my DaVinci Resolve timeline. Now, let's assume there is a section here. We're going to just mark an in point at this point here. And let's just mark a short section here, just for the purpose of this video, an out section here. So let's say this section, there's something that was said that you want to just verify or didn't make sense, and you just want to check with the collaborator whether this should stay or what edits they need to make to this section. So you mark your in and out points. It could be the entire timeline, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And before you do anything, you need to make sure that your Frame.io account is linked with your DaVinci Resolve. So the way to do that is to go up here to the DaVinci Resolve preferences. And from the preferences, you will select the internet accounts option and then scroll down here and you'll see a Frame.io option down here. And it will say signed in because I'm signed in, but if otherwise it will just say sign in. You hit the sign in, put your credentials in, and you can choose here where you want to save your cache. It automatically defaults to your movies folder, and hit save. Once that's done, now when you go over to export, you will see up here at the top, some options have changed. So what you want to do is scroll along here until you see Frame.io. So there we go. We're going to select Frame.io. Now we're going to give this a title. I'm going to just put check this is okay. Okay, and then I'm going to choose a folder. Now these folders are what you have in Frame.io. So you can see I've got a number of different things here. This is a Pharmacist Diaries episode, so I'm going to click Pharmacist Diaries, hit OK. And resolution, I always do this as 720 unless I want them to show them a higher resolution for whatever particular reason. But if it's just for review purposes, 720 is fine. Everything else can stay the same. Add to render queue, and I'm going to just render that off. Now that'll take a few minutes depending on how big your section that you are sending for a review is, but you can see this is a relatively short section and it's speeding along here. I'll just speed this up for the purposes of this video. Okay, that's at 100%. So if we go back to our Frame.io, now you can see here in Frame.io in the Pharmacist Diaries folder, it's already there. Check this is okay, today's date. I can just double click on it and I'm playing the video. All I need to do now in order to share this is literally click up here, hit share, share for review, and I'll get a link that I can send to people for review. This is brilliant. Just the fact that I didn't have to wait, first of all, a long time to export, then I didn't have to upload that file somewhere and wait for that time. I didn't have to tell the person, go to this place and download the file. They don't have to do any downloading. They stream it from Frame.io. So that's a brilliant, brilliant part of the workflow. But the fun doesn't stop there. The best bit is still to come. So down here along this timeline, so that you can just scrub along this timeline here, you can leave comments for each other. So if you're collaborating with someone, so for example, let's say let's go to 5 seconds in, I can just go down here. So in here, you can say, it says leave your comment here, and I can just leave a comment. Please check this is okay to stay in the episode. And I can just tag the person if I wanted to. I won't do that for this purpose, but I could tag them. And then I just hit send. And you can see there's a couple of things that have happened here. First of all, it's put a little mark where I've entered that on the timeline. So you can see down here how many comments have been made. And then there's a panel here which shows you all the comments that have been made, who made them, when they made them. And then the other person can just, from within the browser, they can hit reply and we can just chat to each other whilst we have the video up here, which is really, really cool. So you can go along here and make different comments as you go. Check this. I'm just going to do it for the purpose of this video. You get the idea, and you can see as I'm doing that, this is populating, so all the messages stay in one place. You don't have to kind of go and search for them. I really like that about this. Now, this is great. The benefit for the video editor is when you go back into DaVinci Resolve. So if we go back to DaVinci Resolve and go back to our timeline, you'll see something has occurred here. So I'm going to just get rid of this highlight, or this, sorry. Now you can see down here, if I just zoom into the timeline, as we were doing those edits, those comments have appeared in my timeline, right? So I've got them here appearing in the timeline. Now I'm double click on these, there's a pop-up window, which I don't think you can see in the screen recording, which is a shame. But you get the idea. You can see here that the comments that I've made are appearing here. There's the other one. Please check this is okay to stay in the episode. And then from here, you can actually double click and reply. For some reason, it's not showing in the screen recording, but trust me, I can reply and that will also appear in Frame.io. So you can see this has saved me an absolute stack of time. The toing and froing, the uploading, the downloading, none of that has to happen anymore. It's all done seamlessly within Frame.io. Now, there's a few other features that Frame.io have, which I don't particularly use. You can annotate on the screen and you can do various things like that. But again, I'm really just using it for comments along particular timestamps. This is useful if you're a podcast editor and you're creating clips, for example. So you might be able to kind of highlight the start point and an end point and say, hey, what do you think about this as a clip? And you can just send that for review, or they can extend it, they can shorten it. There's so many different things you can do with this tool. Now, of course, all good things are not always free. However, Frame.io does have a free option. So if I show you here on their pricing, there is a basic free plan here, and actually, surprisingly, you can do quite a lot. So you get up to 2 members. You get only 2 gigabytes of storage, so you'll have to kind of keep refreshing your projects. And you only get about 2 projects, or up to 2 projects. And you still get camera to cloud. Now, camera to cloud is something different, which is where your camera can actually upload video files or proxy video files as you're recording them to Frame.io. Now, this again is a huge game changer if you're doing stuff where you're out in the field, maybe you're a sports reporter, or maybe you're at a live event and you're covering the live event and you're sending footage back to an editor for social media. There's a whole new workflow there as well. I'm not going to get into that in this video because, again, it's not something I particularly use that much, but it's something I have played around with and I would like to use a little bit more. But your free plan is going to be more than adequate to get you up and running. I think I'm on the Pro plan here, and the main difference here is you get up to 5 members. Your storage, I mean, it's night and day, 2 terabytes versus 2 gigabytes, so you can store a lot more here. Unlimited projects, which is great when you're working with multiple people. You can do things like branded, you can have share link explorations, you can set different permissions on your sharings, and you can have comment attachments as well. So there's different things you can have, and then you have different levels above that. So for $15 a month, honestly, for me, it's saved me so much time, which means I can get more out, which means I can do more, which ultimately means I get paid more. So really, this is a cost that you should factor into your existing model of pricing anyway. And that should apply for all the tools that you're using as a professional videographer or video editor. But that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. I'm super excited about this workflow. I've been using it for a while, but I just thought I'd share it today because I happen to be using it quite extensively on a particular project I'm working on. But let me know what you think. Is it something you're using? How differently are you using it? Is it something that you are interested in using? And would you potentially see yourself switching over and adapting this type of workflow? Let me know in the comments. And as always, it's been great making this video. If you liked what you see, make sure you hit subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next video.